Fellas, this has been an insane year for head coaches. Brian Dable and Robert Saleh in New York. My pick is undefeated. There's, of course, Mike McDaniel, Kevin O'Connell, and even Matt Eberflus only has 3 wins in Chicago. We got 4 rookie head coaches who have been very impressive this year to go along with a handful of veterans in Mike Vrabel. Bill Belichick's done a good job, and a couple of others. But my pick has to be Nick Sirianni in Philadelphia. I always think back to that stupid press conference where he made a big deal about it, and I look at what he has done in Philadelphia since then. Offensively, this team has not only maximized Jalen Hurts, they've put him in the picture perfect situation. And a kudos goes to their GM and Howie Roseman, but we would be remiss if we didn't acknowledge how great this offense has been because of the system put in place. Nick Sirianni has hired a great staff. Defensively, the team is clicking on all cylinders. There is no weakness. And what do they do on Sunday? They beat every single team they play. And when they play like my Steelers, they annihilate them. It'll be embarrassing. To me, right now, the Eagles are the most complete team in the league. And I think it all begins with the system and culture that has been cultivated by a guy in just his second season in Nick Sirianni.
Yeah, that's a good shout. So like I said earlier, Frank Reich was my preseason pick. That didn't pan out. So for me, I
Let's
wrote
not
down
talk about it.
yeah, I wrote down 6 names. And that might sound crazy, but I think there really are 6 people in contention right now. And I think the way this season plays out the next 8 weeks is really going to determine which one of these 6 is going to be the guy. I got Nick Sirianni, obviously undefeated at 8-0 with the Philadelphia Eagles. Brian Daboll with the New York Giants. They're 6-2 right now. Mike McDaniel with the Miami Dolphins, I believe 6-3. Pete Carroll, got to give him some love with 6-3 for the Seattle Seahawks being the number 1 team in the NFC West. Nobody saw that coming before the season. Kevin O'Connell at 7-1 with the Minnesota Vikings, leading the NFC North. And then obviously Robert Saleh with the New York Jets at 6-3. I think those 6 guys are the real top contenders for this award. So I do think Saleh is. I think the Jets are in for a tough stretch coming up to finish out the season. So I don't think he's going to be up in there. I would probably have to go with. I think Nick Sirianni is probably going to take this award home because I think the Eagles are going to keep striding. I mean, there's a real shot that they could go undefeated. I don't think they will. I think they're going to lose 2 to 3 games, but they're doing a phenomenal work right now. So shout out Nick Sirianni.
I'm going to keep this award in New York, and I'm going to go with Brian Dable. I think going into the season, nobody had any expectations for the Giants. Well, correction, the expectation was to lose. That's what everybody thought. They weren't going nowhere. Daniel Jones is under center. Saquon Barkley's always injured. They have no weapons on the outside. It's just been a revolving door of head coaches from Ben McAdoo, Pat Shermer, Joe Judge, and here we go. This guy from Buffalo is supposed to be the savior. And you know what? Goddamn right he is. He definitely has been. The Giants are ahead of schedule. I don't think, and same thing with the Jets. You could really go either way with this award. And Brandon, you listed so many head coaches. All of them are worthy of this award. Each and every one of them, because the simple fact that, personally, for me in New York, seeing both teams playing playoff like football, they're getting ready for potential postseason action. That's almost unheard of. So to see what Daniel Jones and the Giants are doing under Brian Dabble, I think I just have to put him number 1. That energy, it's different. And football is better when the Giants are competitive too. And I just really can't see this award getting out of New York because I think they still have some more winning to do. I don't think it's stopping here, boys.
Your boy over here named all those head coaches, talking about your boy me, and I just didn't acknowledge Pete Carroll, who to me would in any other season, along Brian Dable, win this award. Those 3 guys have done literally a phenomenal job this year. We don't see this very often. It is the year of coaches. What do you know? They win football games in the NFL a lot. So next award up is going to be Offensive Rookie of the Year. just like the last 2 years, we have seen so many standouts, particularly at the running back position, like many would have expected after seeing this last quarterback draft class. And fellas, there are a lot of options right now. Breece Hall, of course, tore his ACL. He was a leading candidate. Now the top three guys, in my opinion, would be Chris Olave, Dameon Pierce, and K9. Kenneth Walker, in the last 4 weeks after becoming the Seahawks starter, has been absolutely phenomenal. Last game against the Cardinals, single-handedly took over in the second half, and his body control, just like Dameon Pierce, is already among the very best in the NFL. For me, so far it would be Dameon Pierce, but with the level that Kenneth Walker has been playing at recently, I have to put my money on him because that Seattle offense is rolling. Give me K9. So far to start this year, Dameon Pierce is 600 yards already, but K9 has about 550, and he's gone to the end zone how many times? On Check Football Reference, 7 rushing TDs with 570 rushing yards. And no, 5 yards a carry. This episode is brought to you by our friends at Betstamp. When it comes to sports betting, Betstamp is changing the game. You want to maximize your return, and with the Betstamp app, all you have to do is download it and sign up on their different affiliate sportsbooks, and you can see all the best odds given straight to you in one single place. The visual tools are very helpful, and by the end of the year, you can use it for accounting. You can get all the analytics that you'll need so that you can bet like a pro. Be sure to use our referral code at WISEGUYS, WISEGUYS. Thank you to Betstamp for supporting us, and as always, back to the show.
Two of the guys you name, I mean, Dameon Pierce and Kenneth Walker III are my two top candidates, and I would have to favor Kenneth Walker, and simply just because the Seahawks are going to be in a better position later in the season, actually winning games and competing for a playoff spot, while the Texans are not. And Kenneth Walker, like you said, 4 games as the lead back, 570 yards, 7 touchdowns, and he's got a game where he had 167 yards rushing. This guy is the real deal. So I would be leading with Kenneth Walker III.
Yeah, I have to roll with you guys on that one. I'm going to roll with Kenneth Walker. I mean, 7 touchdowns in 5 games, 7 rushing touchdowns in 5 games. The guy's going absolutely crazy, and it's kind of cool to see a running back go wild in Seattle to get you a little excited and think about the days of Marshawn Lynch. So I have to go with K9 for the simple fact. Also, he's been running wild for my fantasy team, and we're undefeated right now. So thank God for the waiver wire.
To all the fantasy football owners out there, I like playing fantasy because what I'll do every year, Justin, is just take all of the rookie running backs. So this year I took Bruce, I took Kenneth, and I took Dameon. And of course, Bruce got hurt, so I just replenished it in both of my leagues. And basically, the reason why is my first year playing was Alvin Kamara's rookie year. So yeah, if you play fantasy football, pro tip, just take all the rookie running backs, man, especially in a class like this. They'll probably be happy at the end of the year. Next award up is Defensive Rookie of the Year. So far this season, there have been a lot of very big standouts, and they haven't been edge rushers per se. My pick was Aiden Hutchinson. He's had some good weeks, he's had some bad weeks, and he's had some weeks in between. So far, the leading candidates would have to be Devin Lloyd of the Jacksonville Jaguars, who had a very strong start to the year, but it's kind of slowed down since Tariq Woolen of the Seattle Seahawks, 5th round pick. And last but not least, Sauce Gardner. 2 best nicknames in football might be Sauce and K9. With all that being said, boys, this guy doesn't get the credit he deserves, but right now, this Seattle Seahawks defense is rolling. Give me Tariq Woolen, because everyone's going to talk about Sauce. They love him. They love what he's brought to this Jets defense, and he has truly been a top 10 corner as a rookie. But Tariq Woolen has been right there in terms of the production. 4 picks in 9 games, in a touchdown, a goal off, 8 passes defended, 2 fumble recoveries, and man, that dude is one you don't want to throw near, because when a corner is 6'4" and is one of the best athletes in the field, oftentimes he is going to make plays. So give me Tariq, man.
Yeah, I think it's my preseason pick was Aiden Hutchinson, like John. And I should have just mentioned Sky Moore was my preseason pick for Offensive Rookie of the Year. That has not panned out the way I thought it could have panned out, but that's neither here nor there. Defensive Rookie of the Year, I think it's either Sauce Gardner or Tariq Woolen. Goddamn, on that day 3 of the draft, was I looking at the the players that were available, and I was like, Patriots, please take Tariq Woolen. I mean, I just loved. I fell in love. During the draft, the way I look at it, I don't really watch college football. I fall in love with the physical attributes because that's really all I can look at, without knowing their story or whatever, to being able to understand their intangibles. And Tariq Woolen just screamed off the page, physical attributes. 6'4", right? What is he, like 220 maybe? Runs a 4.4 or 4.3. Just absolutely insane stuff. Sadly, we didn't take him, and that's another uh, feather in Pete Carroll's cap where he's able to find these cornerbacks late in the draft. I mean, namely Richard Sherman and Brandon Browner, right?
Kim Chancellor is a safety in the
Cam
fifth.
Chancellor too. Third, yeah, he was a deep pick too. But
Those
I'm going to lead.
physicals beat cap really sound like N'Keal Harry.
No, N'Keal Harry couldn't run like that. Sauce Gardner, I'm going to favor him, and maybe it is that I'm falling in love with the name. I love the name, but I think he's just doing incredible stuff. He's also 6'4", runs a fast 40. I mean, the guy, he's next level. And I saw a stat that if they're hoping him to be the next Revis, apparently he's already having a better rookie season than Darrell Revis did. So, future is bright for Sauce Gardner. But you know what? Maybe down the line, Justin, we might see a history repeating itself where a famous cornerback from the Jets comes to play for New England and gets himself a Super Bowl. How you like them apples?
I don't know. The way the Jets are playing, they might be getting a Super Bowl before us. So that's just me being honest. But I want to show love.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm gonna roll with you guys, and I'm gonna say so. Show some love to Jack Jones up in New England. He's been a great rookie for our defense. But yeah, I'm gonna stick with Sauce. I remember in the preseason he was interviewed by a little kid. I don't know if you guys seen this video, but he's interviewed by a little kid, and this little kid asks him, "My dad said that after every Jets win, he's gonna treat me to ice cream." So he asks Sauce, he's like, "How many times am I gonna have ice cream this year?" Sauce is like, "A whole lot." This past weekend, that kid got ice cream cake for that win that they got. Sauce came up with a big pick off of Josh Allen on Sunday, and biggest moments of that game, stepping up. He is exactly what they expected him to be. He's going to be a number one shutdown corner, and I think he's going to be rewarded with it with Defensive Rookie of the Year at the end of the season. The Jets found themselves an absolute gem.
My pick, by the way, was Tariq, and both of those two are physical specimens. The length, the size, and really the fundamentals with the footwork. They're probably going to be two of the top five corners convincingly with Patrick Surtain. I mean, I wish the Steelers can get one of those guys, but they'll probably Richard Joey Porter's son because they like taking former players. Not the point. Last award up, fellas. Comeback Player of the Year. My pick coming in. Wait, who was my pick? It was Lamar Jackson. Bizarre one. He's not the comeback player of the year. It is far and away Geno Smith. You go from being a career backup, a guy that failed in New York, to a legitimate candidate, a dark horse, sure, for MVP, an elite quarterback. So you go from career backup to MVP. This is the closest thing we've seen to Kurt Warner, but the difference is Kurt Warner was an MVP before that, and then he got back to level. Geno Smith was one of the worst quarterbacks last time we saw him, and he had some good moments in 2021, but what he has done this year is truly historical. And I don't like throwing that word around too often, but we've literally seen these guys shattering records at Offensive Rookie of the Year, and now a Comeback Player of the Year. But I think he overshadows a few players here that I think one of you two might take.
My preseason pick was CMC. He still probably has a case for it, going down the line with playing with the 49ers now. Somebody that should get some love is JQ's boy, Saquon Barkley. He's playing great. He's bouncing back this year. But I got to agree with John. Geno Smith is playing outstanding football, and I don't think anybody saw it coming. So that's why I think he is unequivocally the comeback player of the year. I mean, nobody saw this coming ever. So give all the props to Geno Smith, and I think the biggest way we can show him that he is getting his flowers and his love and respect is by giving him this Comeback Player of the Year award.
This is a team that we didn't expect anything out of when we talked about the Seattle Seahawks. We didn't think, it was either Drew Lock or Geno Smith. And I remember in the beginning of the season, I was like, why don't you just start Drew Lock for the simple fact that he's younger and maybe he does have a future? Yeah, and I thought we already know what we're going to see out of Geno Smith. And God, man, I am completely wrong. I've been proven wrong a ton since we started this podcast. But you know what? I'm happy to eat my words because this guy just shows up and he shows out for this squad. You didn't expect too much out of him. You go from Russ to Geno, you expect massive regression. Instead, you progress. And I think Geno definitely deserves this award. He's playing up to par with some of the best quarter. He's playing better than guys like Tom Brady and Matthew Stafford, who you would normally would put on top of this list.